The 2026 revolution in Formula One. In 2026, Formula One doesn't just change, it transforms. New cars, new engines, a completely new philosophy. But after the first few days of testing in Bahrain, one thing became clear: many drivers are not happy. They say the cars aren't fun to drive. They say the new rules feel too complicated, and they're worried about where the sport is heading. The biggest voice speaking out is Max Verstappen, but he's not alone. Other champions like Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso have also expressed concerns. This is not just a small disagreement, it's a serious debate about the future of Formula One. The core problem: the new power unit. At the center of everything is the new engine, or as F1 calls it, the power unit. From 2026, power will be split 50-50 between the petrol engine and the electric motor. That's a huge change. Right now, most of the power comes from the petrol engine, but soon electricity will be just as important. To simplify things and make it cheaper for new companies like Audi and Ford to join, Formula One has removed the MGU-H, a complex part that recovered energy from the turbo. The goal was to make the engines simpler and more attractive to manufacturers. But there's a trade-off. Now the cars have more electrical power to manage and fewer efficient ways to recover that energy. And that's where the frustration begins. Lift and coast. Drivers now have to save energy in corners so they can use it on long straights. The technique is called lift and coast. Instead of braking at the last possible moment, drivers lift off the throttle hundreds of meters before the corner. The car slows down naturally while the battery recharges. On some tracks, drivers are lifting off as much as 600 meters before a corner. That's a long time in Formula One. Instead of pushing the car to the absolute limit, they're managing energy, and that feels very different from the aggressive, edge-of-control driving that made F1 famous. For many drivers, that's the problem. Verstappen speaks out. Max Verstappen didn't hold back. He called the new cars not fun to drive. He described the rules as anti-racing, and he even said the cars feel like Formula E on steroids. That comparison raised eyebrows. He explained that drivers may have to downshift on straights, not to go faster, but to recharge the battery. Instead of focusing purely on speed, they'll be thinking about software, settings, and energy targets. To him, it feels like the driver is becoming less important and the computer more important. He even hinted that if he doesn't enjoy driving these cars, he might consider leaving the sport early. That's a big statement. Verstappen is a four-time world champion and one of the biggest stars in F1. His contract with Red Bull runs till 2028, and these regulations could influence his future. His team has also expressed concern, worrying that complex engineering might overshadow pure driving skill. They want their star driver to show his full talent, not just manage batteries. Hamilton's warning. Hamilton, now with Ferrari, also voiced serious concerns. He described the new cars as ridiculously complex. He pointed out that lifting and coasting for 600 meters before a corner is not what racing is about. He even said the cars feel slower than GP2, a sharp criticism. Hamilton is a seven-time world champion. He has driven many different generations of F1 cars. When he speaks, people listen. He worries that the new rules will shift the focus away from pure speed and driver ability toward energy management. For a driver known for pushing to the absolute limit, that's a difficult adjustment. Alonso's perspective. Alonso offered a different tone. At 44, he is the most experienced driver on the grid. He has seen many rule changes in his career. Using humor, he said that some corners are now so slow even the chef could drive them. He was talking about turn 12 in Bahrain, once a fast, intimidating corner taken at 260 kilometers per hour. Now, drivers go through at around 200 kilometers per hour. That's 50 kilometers slower. Alonso understands why Verstappen is frustrated. Drivers want to make the difference in high-speed corners, but he also believes this is simply the new challenge of F1. Rules change, cars evolve, and as he put it, at the end of the day, this is F1. We close the visor and we go motor racing. A different voice. Lando Norris. While some champions question the future, Lando Norris sees it differently. He says he's having fun. To Norris, the 2026 cars are not a problem. They're a challenge, a new way of driving, a new puzzle to solve. And he had a blunt message for Max Verstappen. If you don't like it, you can retire. He reminded everyone that Formula One is always changing. Some cars are great to drive, some aren't. That's part of the sport. For him, being a Formula One driver is a privilege. If someone doesn't want to be there, someone else will gladly take the seat. Norris believes the new era is demanding but exciting. Drivers must think differently, manage energy differently, adapt. But at the end of the day, they still get to race the fastest cars in the world, travel the globe, and compete at the highest level. For Norris, there's nothing to complain about. Russell. Patience over panic. George Russell, Mercedes driver and director of the Grand Prix Drivers Association, also pushed back against the criticism. When asked whether the new cars felt like Formula E on steroids, his answer was simple: no. He admitted there are frustrations. For example, drivers now take certain corners in extremely low gears just to keep the engine revs high and the turbo active. In Bahrain, turn 1 used to be a third gear corner. Now it's first gear. That feels unnatural. But Russell also highlighted something important. The electric boost delivers an incredible 350 kilowatts when fully deployed. The potential is massive. He believes the cars will improve quickly as teams understand them better. Testing, he says, is not the final product. Technology evolves fast in Formula One. Judging these cars too early could be a mistake. Charles Leclerc, finding the fun in a new way. Charles Leclerc offered a more balanced perspective. He admitted the new cars may not be the most enjoyable to drive in the traditional sense, but he finds excitement elsewhere. For him, the thrill comes from development, understanding the new systems, discovering clever solutions, unlocking hidden performance. The pleasure of driving might feel different, but the mental challenge, that's still there. And for some drivers, that intellectual battle is just as rewarding as attacking a high-speed corner flat out. Formula E responded. The debate didn't stop inside Formula One. Even Formula E joined the conversation. Its CEO, Jeff Dodds, responded playfully to Verstappen's comments. He invited Verstappen to test a Formula E car, even offering to pick him up from Bahrain since the series was racing nearby in Jeddah that same weekend. Dodds suggested Verstappen might be surprised by how fast the cars really are. He went further. He claimed the next generation of Formula E cars could become even quicker, possibly challenging Formula One machinery in certain conditions. He also pointed out that many former F1 drivers now compete in Formula E.